Hey everybody, it's me, TPG. Welcome to TPG's world. I'm back. It is the 26th of December for my second video of today. I'm going to talk about what happened tonight. I got to finally go see Charlie Brown. The Charlie Brown, it was called a Charlie Brown Christmas live on stage over in Augusta, Georgia, which is the next city over. I did a little tiny, like 5-minute blurb, 5-second blurb. I'll probably try to post a few of those and some pictures on stage and everything in another vlog. But I went over to see the play with my two dearest friends in the world, and I wanted to talk about it for a few minutes. So we're really, really excited getting there. It was the theater was it's an old theater. It's about 30 years old. It's been remodeled, and I hadn't had the chance to go there yet. But I was really excited to go. My friend Whitney, she won the tickets back in like July. I'm gonna take this hat off, guys, but that's my, remember my hat that I had, the Charlie Brown hat. I'm so excited to wear that. But yeah, so she won the tickets back in July of this past year. So she said she tried to call the box office all day. She didn't know if they'd get them, but anyway, we got there. They printed our tickets. We had fifth row, which is cool. So the show, it was done like, really, it was a unique way to do the show, because first of all, they wore these plastic wigs. All of them wore plastic wigs, the girls did and the boys. But the band, like you saw, Schroeder, Pigpen, and Shermie were the band, and they were live on stage, and they had these like funny like rubber wigs on with like the hair. It was really kind of a little bizarre. I'll see if I can show you a picture, guys. It was crazy. And the girls, they look like the drag queen wigs that they have, those big rubber wigs that a lot of girls wear now, the drag girls wear and stuff. It was really weird. They had those on, but yet Charlie Brown had real hair. He didn't even wear a wig, and he was a bigger guy, which didn't really matter. But here, I'll see if you guys can see this up close. I'm not sure how well you can see it, but the stage looked like that, if you guys can see it. That's the stage there, and that was they had that screen constantly like played stuff all throughout. That's the other picture stage. But that theater constantly like played stuff all along that screen, and it would play like different things to show the animation of the show or whatever. So that was kind of cool. But here's an example of what I can see, if you guys can see just really quickly for a minute. I'm not sure what you guys can see on a picture in here, but this is a picture of, let me make it bigger, I can do that. There you go, there's like a picture of Schroeder, and see his plastic wig, and that's Pigpen, and they've got on these plastic wigs, and over here Snoopy. Snoopy was played by a girl, and here's a good example of those plastic wigs. Let me show you one. I really want to show you these plastic wigs, guys. They were really creepy to me. Okay, here's Charlie Brown. There's a picture of Charlie Brown's. He looks nothing like Charlie Brown to me. And that's Sally. And see that wig? It's plastic. I know you're not supposed to take pictures in the theater, but I did. I want to show you guys a few things. But it was these plastic wigs. There's another one of the girls in the plastic wigs. This is Linus. See, Linus was probably my favorite in the whole show, but he has this horrible, if you can see it up close, horrible plastic wig on. Probably can't see it very well, but with like a beanie cap over top of it. It was horrific, guys. It was just one of the worst things I ever saw in my life as far as that went. But it started out, the wigs and all bothered me, but I understand why they did it. The wigs look creepy, and I won't say it was one of the worst things I ever saw, because it fit the characters. They wanted them to look more like the characters. Like Linus's wig was made of rubber, but it looked like the drawn one, so I get why they did that. You know, and they had the rubber wigs to make them look more animated and more like the actual hairstyles of the characters in the original Peanuts gang. As you guys know, I am a huge Peanut gang fanatic. I love the Peanuts, so I was very, very excited to go and see it. The show started out kind of weird. It was, like I said, it was done with screens, and it was mostly, the first act was very much, it wasn't really a musical, so it wasn't what we expect. It was more of an interpretive dance. Like it was the actual cartoon put on stage. So a lot of the music that, you know, if you guys have ever seen the Charlie Brown cartoon, you know that there's a lot of music and a lot of movement. So they recreated all of that on stage. So a lot of it looked more like an interpretive dance. We called it like Charlie Brown the Ballet or something, you know, because a lot of it was just mostly choreography, and it was kind of crazy. So it was like 45 minutes long in the first act, and then they did a sequel. They sang a song which isn't in the show, which was the only really, they had like a couple lines, but mostly the first act was all about dancing to this music. And there was a little bit of acting, just like in the movie. It was exactly like the film, like the cartoon put on stage, you know, because if you watch the cartoon, as I said, there's a lot of music and there's scenes going on. They'd recreate that with a dance, and then they'd do the dialogue, and then they'd go to the next thing. It ended right when Charlie Brown and Linus go to find a tree. They sing a song about the tree, and it goes to intermission. So that was kind of cool. It was like a 20-minute intermission, and I'm going to show you what I got at intermission here in a second. And then the second act was them putting on the pageant, and then it ended with the second act. I thought was a lot better. It ended with them putting on like the Christmas pageant and them singing Christmas songs, and it was a lot more cute and upbeat. But the cast did a good job. I'd have to say my favorites went to Linus. Was my favorite in the whole entire show. I really, really loved the guy that played Linus, and I really enjoyed like Pigpen and the guys in the band. They were really funny. Everyone else was okay, but I just kind of was like, okay. But none of the girls really stood out to me. I think Linus was my favorite of all. Snoopy was really good. The girl that played Snoopy was pretty good if I had to pick. But they all kind of lacked a little. Like Lucy wasn't mean enough to be Lucy. Linus, I think he had the most percent. Charlie Brown was, Charlie Brown's supposed to be kind of shy and quiet and kind of dirty. The guy that played Charlie Brown was a bigger guy, which didn't matter in his size, don't get me wrong, because I'm a bigger guy. But he was very over the top and animated, and he wasn't quite as reserved as Charlie Brown, so I didn't really like it. But I did get something while I was there. Look, I got this little Snoopy plush. Isn't it cute? It says Snoopy Peanuts. I wanted a souvenir, so it says the Peanuts. And then I got this one, Lucy at Christmas. And if you bought the Lucy, look at that, she cute. If you bought the Lucy and the Snoopy, which I love my some peanuts, so these will be on my wall next to behind me, you got Charlie Brown free. And there's your Charlie Brown peanuts. Gang, I'll take this off, but that's your Charlie. You got this little tiny Charlie Brown free. And not only did you get Charlie Brown free, you got this cute little tote bag free. So it's basically you buy two things, you get two things free. So it was worth the price. It wasn't too pricey because, it was like you spend a certain amount of money, you get a free tote bag, and you get a free Charlie Brown. So even though Charlie's not as big as Lucy, I mean, look at, here's the little tiny Charlie Brown, and here's the little tiny, a big gigantic Lucy, and a big gigantic Snoopy. I thought it was well worth it just to get those two plushes. Now I wish I would have got them closer to Christmas. And then I got this little bag with that stuff. It says Charlie Brown's Christmas, just as a souvenir bag, just to have as a souvenir bag. And I'm going to fold it up the right way. And that's basically what I got at Charlie Brown's Christmas. So yeah, and like I said, I always try, like I'm going to see Wicked next month, the 21st. We're going to see Wicked, and I always try to buy a souvenir from a play or something when I go, and they're always usually very costly, like $25, $30 for a shirt. But those were, you buy two for a certain price, which was a little costly. You get two free. So I feel a little bit better about that. I think that's kind of cool. But anyway, that was my experience at Charlie Brown's Christmas. It was enjoyable. My friends were both like, they're glad they didn't buy the tickets because they would have been mad if they bought the tickets, but I wouldn't have been mad. It was enjoyable. I loved it just because I like Charlie Brown, but my only thought was I wish somebody would have taken it and wrote it as a musical, because we went expecting it to be a musical, and it was more like a dance, like an interpretive dance with the play. It was the play done in front of our eyes, but it was, I don't know, it just wasn't what we were expecting, I think. In retrospect and in hindsight, so we didn't really know, but I won't say it was the worst thing I've ever seen, because it was very, very good. And as I said, I love Charlie Brown. The costumes were on point. The wigs were a little bit weird, but we got through with that. We didn't, the wigs and all, we're like, okay, but it was definitely interesting. I'll say interesting is a good word. But the cast, they did a pretty good job. I was really happy to see them. And to see the show, and I'm glad that my friend chose me to go when she won her tickets and chose to take me. And it was nice to get dressed up with my friend, and we went there to hang out and had a good time. Got to spend some time, and they were all happy because they're like, oh, it's still Christmas until the 6th, and I'm like, oh, whatever, Christmas is over. So I think I would have probably liked it a little bit more for me if it would have been before Christmas, but it's still the day after Christmas, so it's not bad. But the cast test, I think they said like another week, and then they're done with it. So it was great. If you get a chance to see Charlie Brown Christmas live on Charlie Brown Christmas live on stage, go see it. Sorry about that, guys. It was my phone acting crazy. Go see it live on stage and check it out. And anyway, thanks so much, guys, for coming by my neighborhood, my world. And make sure you hit that thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Make sure you share. And yeah, that's basically all I can say about Charlie Brown's live on stage. The It was different. It was different. Great costumes. The rubber wigs were a little different to me, but I understand why they did it. Um, the choreography was no joke. We did laugh because the last number looked like something out of Hairspray, the Corny Collins dance. But the choreography was no joke, and the cast was okay. There was some of them I thought were a little too animated, but it is what it is. The audience seemed to enjoy it, and that's all that matters, right? Okay, guys, I love you. Thanks for coming to TPG's World. Remember, hating is a disease, and some folks need to get well soon. Bye.